What is up, gamers? Staxwell's back at it again today with another market watch. This one's all heavy hitters themed. We have 4 cards spoiled so far, but I think we're about to get a lot more come Barcelona. Worlds is this weekend. I'm sure they're going to give us a couple of things, a couple of little nuggets, and I'm sure that's going to make the market go crazy here. So let's try and get ahead of it. And yeah, this is all heavy hitter specs here. Let's jump straight in. No more Raid Shadow Legends ads. First one I want to talk about is the agility token. We know there's a way to make agility tokens. I'm sure there'll be more ways to make it. Agility token, just at the start of your turn, destroy this. Your next attack this turn gets go again. So the classic, what's the best card to give go again to? The one that jumps to my head is Snatch every time. There's actually not that many Snatches on the market rainbow foil anymore, and they're like $2 or $3 each. There's still a decent amount. There's like 20 or 30. But for a rare from Welcome to Wraith, 20 or 30 is actually not that much. Someone with like $100 could just come and disappear every Snatch from the market. Especially if they're getting go again for free. This card is very, very powerful. Some of the other cards I want to talk about is this one right here, Double Down. This one says, if your hero, I'm not going to read it all, but a line of text here says, if your hero would create one or more tokens from a wager this turn, instead they create that many +1 of each of those tokens. If you think thematically about a, like an arena, like a Spartacus kind of thing, they're always fighting for gold. But then, gold is like the first thing that comes to your mind with this. But it says +1 of each of these tokens. So it's like implying there's more than just gold you'll get off some of these wagers. So I imagine it would be like gold, silver, copper. That's just like the logical conclusion. Cold foil silver token is at about $5 for the cheapest copy. Cold foil, again, there's very few on the market. This seller has 13 of them. After these 3 sellers are gone, it jumps up to like $10. So just go ahead and make sure you got yourself a silver token. This has so many other applications as well. The big one being Assassin. Assassin contracts are all paid in silver. So not a bad token to have, even if this spec is wrong. Copper, cheapest cold foil on the market is like $3 as well. Again, not that many of this stuff. Again, $100 could totally disappear this card from the market completely. And another one that's like, even if we're wrong about this spec, well then, Adult Kasai could come down the line later, or some merchant support or something that could make, copper good. Silver's already good with Assassin. So it's like, it covers some bases. You're not just speccing into heavy hitters with these cards. There's definitely applications outside of that. We also know that there's going to be Guardian, Warrior, and Brute in this set, obviously. So let's just go ahead and jump into the Guardian cards here. Obviously, Tectonic Plating is a steal for $40. I don't know why, but I've always thought that the Seismic Surge token synergies are just underexplored. So I think there's going to be some kind of theme with that. And to double down on it, this is like part of Guardian's identity, right? Is Seismic Surge tokens. So to double down on this investment, I would also pick up an Earthlore Bounty Extended Art Everfest Cold Foil. This is a Marvel before Marvels were even called Marvels. Cheapest one on the market is $14. I had another card here. Grandeur of Valhai. This one is if you're really trying to go deep on it. I don't even have a Grandeur of Valhai for myself, but maybe if I was a Moneybags baller, I would. When you pitch it, you get a Seismic Surge token. Again, I think they're going to do something with the Seismic Surge mechanic. I don't see it going away anytime soon. Spinal Crush, $3 for the cheapest copy on the market. I don't imagine that a Guardian will ever come out that doesn't play Spinal Crush. This card just kind of fits everything that class wants to do. Very good generic Guardian card. It's not like talented or anything. So if you don't have a playset of this, I would highly recommend picking it up. Same thing could be said about Crater Fist. The more I actually play with Guardians, the more I find myself activating the action on this. It's kind of weird how these different lanes open up as you play more games and see more lines. I think Crater Fist is a very underrated card. Very powerful ability. And, blocking for 3 in an arms piece. I can't think of an arms piece beside Grasp off the top of my head that's better than this at the moment. Rampart of the Ram's Head, cheapest copy on the market is $35 for Ram's Head. Sorry, I didn't even talk about Crater Fist. Crater Fist is $12. Rampart of the Rams said $35. I'm going too fast. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Sorry, guys. A little too excited. I could definitely see another Guardian using Rampart of the Ram's Head. I doubt they just want to let everything in Arya die and get rotated and not be relevant anymore. They're keeping creepers around. I bet you they want to keep a couple other cards around as well. Rampart of the Ram's Head seems like an obvious candidate for that. This was always very core to the Oldham plan, so I could see them bringing him back in some way. I wouldn't go big bags and buy multiple copies, but having a copy for yourself seems like a good idea. Scowling Flesh Bag. Moving on to the Brute stuff now, if you couldn't tell. This card is just probably the best headpiece in the game, and now that New Horizons isn't on Lexi anymore, I think that Scowling Flesh Bag has earned itself best card in the game. Best card in the game. Cheapest cold foil on the market is $70. I personally would pay that, but the cheapest rainbow on the market is $31. Scowling Flesh Bag is one of those cards that you know is going to be around for a long time. As long as Brute is a class, I imagine Scowling Flesh Bag will be played in some capacity. Even if, a better headpiece comes out one day, Scowling Flesh Bag will probably be good against aggro or something, right? I feel safe investing into Scowling Flesh Bag. Scabskin Leathers is the obvious choice of a card to pick up here. Not a lot to say here. $45 for the cheapest copy on the market. Blood Rush Bellow, cheapest copy is $350. This one is very similar to Spinal Crush for me in that it's a regular Brute card, very good card. I can't imagine a Brute that doesn't play this. Just seems above rate. And if you have any interest in the class whatsoever, you should have a playset. The Extended Art Wrecker Romp from old Armory promo from back in the day, cheapest on the market is $4. This one's a bit of a gamble. Do we think that they're never going to print another blue 6? Or will they start printing blue 6s in this set for Brute? So if you think that they are going to print blue 6s, this probably isn't a good pickup. But if you think that they aren't, I would definitely have a playset, seeing as this is the only blue 6 currently available to Brute in the game. Arc Smash, this is definitely a good pickup with all of the Dash and Dash.io and Mechanologist in general running around. Max is trying to build big mechs, things like that. If you guys didn't watch the Battle Hardened this weekend, the Battle Hardened and the PTI were both topped by the same player playing like this Tree Frog Dash, where it's like setting up all these items and shooting you with the pistol a bunch of times with the Plasma Purifier. Arc Smash just totally runs that over. So even if you just had like 1 or 2 copies in your sideboard, that matchup is no longer a matchup. It's a free win. So probably worth picking up a couple copies. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is only $4. Highly recommend it. Mandible Claw. This seems like the go-to for Brute. When they reprinted Ninja and they reprinted Katsu in Outsiders, they kept him with his Kodachis. I imagine they're going to keep that theme going and keep the Brutes with the Mandible Claws. Could definitely be wrong, but for such a cheap buy-in, you're paying $10 for both Claws Rainbow Foil. Seems like a good pickup to me. I recommend it. Brave Forge Bracers. Cheapest rainbow on the market is $43. This is obviously moving on to Warrior cards at the moment. Again, arms that block 3 doesn't get better than that. All these Welcome to Wraith legendaries are a bit undervalued. Courage of Bladehold, I think, is actually Warrior's best equipment. It's not even legendary, but it is from Crucible, which is an underprinted set. I would definitely have one if you don't already. Even if it just blocked for 3, I would play it. But it's like its ability, its action is also very good. If it just had the action, it didn't block, I'd also consider playing it. So the fact that it has both is just like very, very above rate. Highly recommend it. Iron Song Response Red, the LGS foil promo card, is $18 for the red, but I think it's well worth it. This is the one that's like reprise, +3 reaction, 0 for 3 reaction. I think a lot of Warriors are going to be playing this, and this card has all but disappeared from the market. There's like 10 up here, so if you're thinking about picking up Warrior, this is a interesting spec to look at there. Spoils of War, again, staying on that copper token trend. If we see more synergy with the tokens, specifically with the copper token, Spoils of War could be very good. I think it's worth specking into. Cheapest rainbow on the market is $14. Cheapest regular on the market is only $8. So if you don't have a playset of it and you're interested in Warrior, I highly recommend it. that's all the specs I have for you guys today. If you guys have any that I may have missed, go ahead, leave them down in the comments below. The one I like the most, I will go ahead and pin. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and help the algorithm help me out just a little bit. Later, gamers.